about what is going on in the mind of Cody Saucier. Had a long time to wait, but he has come under pressure. Meanwhile, Brianna Mahan thought her day was done in racing, but now she is pressed back into duty. And you will take it every single time with a world championship on the line. They are fired up and they are inching towards those starting lines. Looks like Dragon is just going to set in. We've got 3 amber lights. We're looking for 4. There they are. Let's go 3. Unbelievable turn of events for Brianna Mahan, but we are moving on. Up first, in the red lane, advancing from round 1, it's David Alford, Velociraptor. And in the blue lane is a brilliant four-time world champion, Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. Son of a digger is locked in. There is Velociraptor. Let's go green.
Took out Cody Saucier and Dragon a pair ago. You guys better be on your feet. This is some of the best racing I've seen in a World Finals.
It is incredible. He clocks in a time of 17.996. Velociraptor David Alford moves on.
Coming up next, racing out of the red lane, it is the 3-time series champion. It's Weston Anderson, Gravedigger. Advancing from round number 1, racing in the blue lane, Jamie Sullivan, Monster of Dalmatian. These two wasting no time, they're on the line. Let's get to it. We're going to get our first look at both of these competitors in the red lane. Former Racing World Finals champion, John LeDuc Megalodon. His opponent making his World Finals debut in the blue lane from Knoxville, Tennessee, Dalton Whitener, directing attack.
Both of these drivers, their first looks right now as we get set to go green.
Team Throttle Monster going nuts in the stands.
James, Red still won that one.
Will the upsets continue?
No, I'm sorry, you're right, it's blue.
Well, coming up next, one of the best to ever drive a Monster Jam truck. Five-time world champion, Adam Anderson, Gravedigger. His opponent, former Monster Jam Rookie of the Year, Zach Gardner, Wildside. The clock thickens now, Kay. Can one of the best young drivers in the sport defeat the legend, one of the best to ever do it? Let's find out.
Every Gravedigger lost. Don't worry, I'll just have more kids.
Coming up next, from Itasca, Illinois, racing in the red lane, Captain Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid. His opponent in the blue lane, advancing from round one, it's Armando Castro, El Toro Loco. These two know each other so well, going back to the arena days for each of them. 34 races between them, 27 wins for Captain Murphy. What a moment it would be right now for Armando Castro. In the meantime, we've got one more round 2 race left. Up first from Orlando, Florida, in the red lane, it's Barry Musauer, Zombie. Advancing from round 1, racing in the blue lane, it's Colt Stevens, Thunder Morris. These two have faced off all season long. How fitting it culminates at World Finals. Let's go green.
And it will be Barry Musauer and Zombie. He will advance on to see. We're going to wait that official time because, John, times are so important. That means the lane choice, and this is very important, especially this kind of track.
Of course, Kate, but it remains to be seen whether or not he'll face Bakugan Dragonoid because of the issues in the rear end of that Monster Jam truck.
Absolutely. And, absolutely. And Zombie and Barry Musauer are clocked at a time of 19.030. I know you guys saw that Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid won his race and is advancing into the bracket, but they just brought him to the back, and it looks like a broken rear drive shaft.
I did not
So
know
once
you
the power is generated from the engine, it then goes to the transmission, and then it's transferred to the drive line or to the drive shaft. And the drive shaft basically takes all of that power and takes it to the third member, which we talked about earlier today. It's right in the middle of the rear housing. It connects to the drive shaft to the third member. Now, if you don't have any power from the drive shaft in the rear, that means that it's only the front end of the truck that's driving the power. So they're currently working on unhooking that rear drive shaft. We're going to see what they can do. Typically, they can swap that in about 10 to 15 minutes. But it is all hands on deck for Bakugan Dragonoid to see if we can get him back out there for Monster Jam Racing. John, I really think that we should talk a little bit about our fans, about some of the penalties and how they're assessed here in JCB Racing.
We saw a huge penalty that was the difference between Adam Anderson and Zach Gardner in Wildside. That 5-second penalty is assessed anytime your front 2 BKT tires do not cross over the race lane, do not traverse the race ramp flush. So it has nothing to do with the lines you see on the outside, but you do have to hit that ramp square, and it was really the difference in that race.
So let's now talk a little bit about how the bracket's unfolding, and let's talk about lane choice. What plays a key in getting that lane choice? So we're going to talk about it right now. JCB Degatron will have lane choice. He had a time of 17.967 over Scooby-Doo, followed by Velociraptor, who clocked in a time of 17.996. He will have lane choice over Monster Mutt Dalmatian.
And of course, on the other side of the bracket, it means Zach Gardner and Wildside will have the advantage of lane choice over Jurassic Attack. And again, this last pair, we're not exactly sure what's going to happen yet because of the issues KCG just talked about with Bakugan Dragonoid. But right now, Zombie and Barry Musauer should have lane choice against anybody because of how good his time is.
Just also think, just to say, 17.967 so far between these lineups that we're going to see comes from Tristan England and JCB Degatron. Keep that in mind as well.
We have made it all the way to the quarterfinal round of the JCB Racing World Championship. The fastest 8 trucks have advanced on. But keep in mind, the winners of these next 4 matchups on this track will also move on to the semifinal round. I already hear some of you screaming, but I need everybody inside of SoFi Stadium to make some noise for the quarterfinal round of the JCB Racing World Championship.
This year too. I think the backhoes are
The
helping.
stage is set here in the JCB Racing World Championship. We're going to try to get down to the final 4. It's going to be Tristan England and JCB Degatron versus Brianna Mahan and Scooby-Doo. The semifinal trip is on the line. A world champion versus somebody who has taken every advantage to get here this far. Let's go
almost made him crash.
JCB
We're killing it.
Tigatron was shut off because we saw Brianna Mahan and Scooby-Doo impede that race lane. Just awaiting some official
They
words,
killed
John,
him,
from our
and it
Monster Jam
almost made him
officials.
Okay.
Times will be very important, John.
Absolutely. I think that berm in that same spot is becoming a little tricky. The dirt is wearing down. The
They have
traction is
skill
certainly
switches,
changing.
but they
A
think
lot of
it's
drivers
unsafe.
rallying up on that berm and flipping over in that same
They
spot.
have skill
This is something we
switches, and
saw
if they think
later
it's
on in
unsafe.
qualifying yesterday. We'll see if that's going to pop up now.
You know, John, they say life isn't fair, and in racing, it's not fair
They used
either.
to flip
Because
it to the
he
stand.
will advance. I'm getting word. He will officially advance. Chesapeake Lane, JCB Tigatron, but we will not have a
So like
time.
earlier, one of the ones
looks
doing
like
the two-wheel
they
stuff,
got it.
he went over and they shut him down while he was upside down.
Joined over here by
And
the
they
driver of
they would
Lucas
cut it and they
Stabilizer.
just
I've
get
got
back up
Lindsay
or go
Reed
in and out.
and female competitors still in this JCB racing competition. Unfortunately, one there for Brianna Mahan, but
So I said
currently
some of the
Jamie
stuff
Sullivan,
they
Monster Let
kill way
Dalmatian
too
on the
early.
line.
It's like-
You had a chance to race with her at the Superstar Challenge. What do you think her competitor's in for right now? I'm super pumped for her. This is her rookie time coming out to the World Final, and she is just proving herself. She did an awesome job both times. She's super smooth, super consistent. So I think that she's going to give him a run for his money. But also, David has had more time out on the track. He came from last night's qualifier, so it's really anybody's game at this point. I'm fired up. Thank you so much for your insight. Monster Jam fans, we're going to head on over to Casey G in the pit.
I told you earlier that Bakugan Dragonoid and Camden Murphy that they were fixing a broken drive shaft on the truck. And once they disconnected the drive shaft, they realized that they had bigger problems on their hands. So if you look behind me, they are working on Bakugan Dragonoid right now. It ended up being a broken third member. This is one of the biggest undertakings for our crew and our technicians. This is also the third broken third member of the day. We'll try to get some insight from crew chiefs and technicians and drivers later about why that might be happening. But the third member is right in the center of the rear housing. It's the part that everything connects to, and it's also really difficult to get to because you have to remove everything. So it's a big undertaking. We're not sure if Bakugan Dragonoid is going to make it back for racing, but this crew is certainly trying to make it happen. We'll keep you updated.
This next matchup set up between two drivers making their World Finals debut in the red lane. We're going to see David Olford and Velociraptor. In the blue lane, we are going to see Jamie Sullivan and Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Hey, that means the Cinderella story is going to come to an end for one of these competitors in just a few moments.
Absolutely, and you see David Olford and Velociraptor. He decides to stay in that red lane, pushing Jamie Sullivan and Monster Mutt Dalmatian to the blue. We have to see if that first turn is going to look right for him.
I hope one of the dinosaurs wins. I like the dinosaurs.
For a 24-hour period for David Olford. He goes from last chance qualifier to Monster Jam World Finals semifinalist in racing.
There, the times are locked in at 19.501 for David Olford and Velociraptor.
Our next pair is
Wild
ready to
side.
rock, and we've got two
Wild
more
side smoke
first-timers for Monster Jam World Finals. Two unbelievable independent teams represented for Throttle Monster and Jurassic Attack and Dalton Whitener for Team Overboard and Zach Garner and Wild Side. And this is for a chance at the Final Four. They're inching closer to those lines. They are locked in. Let's go green.
not
Ladies and
speedy, it's
gentlemen,
more
if you look
technical.
at the track behind me, you know exactly what is going on, and it seems like the Gremlins in World Finals for Kevin Murphy, they are back. The bad luck is here. He will not be able to continue. It's official, but that means we're going to get another look, Kay, at Armando Castro and El Toro Loco.
He comes back, and then, you know, I want to talk a little bit about that. I mean, you never know with motorsports how it's going to shake out. You're at the mercy of these Monster Jam trucks.
With that said, we take it down to the track right here, right now, to see Zombie and Mari Musauer taking on Armando Castro and El Toro Loco. Zombie in the red lane, El Toro Loco in the blue lane. Those outside angle lights are illuminated. They can begin their approach. We're just waiting for them to stop on their starting lines. Here they are. Let's go. This is becoming one of those World Finals racing competitions, Kay, where it looked like everything was lining up maybe for Camden Murphy. Maybe things are lining up for Mari Musauer with a time of 18.887 takes the win.
Wildside will have lane choice, Sean, with an 18.272.
Wildside?
So keep that in mind as well.
Got lane choice.
We take a look up at the bracket now. We're down to the final four. You got some Zombie fans in the stands as
thought
well.
Jurassic
Okay, the
won.
stage is set. We have two unbelievable
Not against
pairs.
Wild Jurassic
JCB
Attack.
Digatron,
That's
Tristan England trying to make it two in a row. Standing in his way. Maybe the best story in all of Monster Jam right now. That's David Oldford and Velociraptor.
Did you think that this semifinal would shake out the way it is? I mean,
No.
surprising names up there on the board.
I did not expect to be in a semifinal with no Brain Digger representatives, to be honest.
Two more, and
But
then
it
final.
remains to be seen, though. But Mari Musauer and Zombie, I mean, we have had World Finals after World Finals where he has been just cut short in multiple different instances. So for him to be there up on the semifinals, kudos to him. Of course, Tristan England, JCB Digatron, looking for a two-time World Finals Racing Championship.
You're gonna be able to order like one of the rooms.
Coming up right now is the semifinal round of the JCB Racing World Championship. The fastest World Superstars have made it this far. And now, the winners of these next two matchups will make it on into the final round. I don't know about you, Monster Jam fans, but I've been on the edge of my seat because this really has been some wild rides on this track. I know you're excited. I know you're electric. So let me hear you scream if you want to see some more racing.
David Oldford and Velociraptor will take to that red lane. Meanwhile, our reigning racing world champion Tristan England and the brand new JCB Digatron will be in the blue lane. If you look down at the track, you can see those metal plates designed to give those drivers a little bit more traction on the trail line. Each driver beginning their approach. JCB locked in. Velociraptor tumble there. To me, from all the way up here on the monitor, it doesn't look like it was all that much, but in the meantime, there's the times, 18.662 for JCB Digatron. I hear that Lindsay Noble is standing by with Jamie Garner and El Toro Loco.
And in just a few moments, we will figure out who takes it all here at World Finals. I'm joined by El Toro Loco Yellow's Jamie Garner, who is Wildside Zach Garner's father. What an incredible moment to see your son right now about to pull up to this line. What's going through your head?
You know, honestly, this has been the best Monster Jam ever. That's his first year at Monster Jam World Finals, and then to be here with Tom Mills this weekend. But for this kid to rock it out and get ready to make the final round, hopefully semifinals, you can't ask for any more than this. Proud of we win or lose.
Well, thank you so much for your insight. In just a few moments, we will get to see who takes a World Finals championship.
You can see the official racing bracket there up on the video board as we await the next race there to see who Tristan England and JCB Digatron will be lining up against. You can only imagine what's going through Tristan England and JCB Digatron. He rolled over. Hopefully nothing's wrong.
You know, Kay, this is becoming one of those things where it's a little bit prophetic, maybe. JCB Digatron, JCB Equipment, JCB World Finals, Championship in Racing, and JCB Equipment helped all the stars up there.
How phenomenal would it be to see JCB get a first-time World Finals Racing Championship right here in the year of the debut?
You know, I talked to Tristan in the hotel the other day. He said, I got that World Finals Championship last year and meant the world to me. But bringing one home to JCB this year would mean even more. He's only one step away.
Bringing one home under neutral track conditions as well is huge for any of our
One in
drivers.
Vegas where he hit the stands, isn't it? They even killed him and everything, and he
I don't know
rolled
if
into the
you
stands.
were with us that time.
On the video board, getting a good look there at JCB Digatron rolling out to the pit area, no doubt his crew chief, Howie Dalton's going to take a quick look at him, but it seems like he's going to be good to go in the final.
Brutus that did it. That rolled right. Yeah, right. We were on
Now
the
it's time to
corner
see
with
who
here,
he'll be
he rolled
facing
right in
off
front of us.
against. In the red lane, it's Barry Musauer and Zombie. In the blue lane, it's Zach Garner and Wildside. Will the dream continue for the second generation star?